Sarah, a 50-year-old woman with wheat-colored hair and emerald eyes, had dedicated her life to ballet dancing. Having been passionate about this graceful art since childhood, she had now become a prominent teacher and was nurturing a new generation of ballerinas at her own dance school. One autumn day, a young man named Arash entered Sarah's school with great passion and enthusiasm. His delicate and emotional movements captivated Sarah. It was as if a gentle soul had been breathed into a young body. Sarah devoted herself to teaching Arash and guided him on his path to improvement. Days turned into months, and the relationship between Sarah and Arash deepened. Sarah saw her own youthful passion in Arash, and Arash found a caring mentor and guide in Sarah. A forbidden love had taken root in both their hearts, a love that faced the constraints of society and the heavy stares of people. However, Sarah and Arash listened to their hearts and, despite all the obstacles, did not hide their love. They began a romantic dance together, a dance in the dust of prejudice and judgmental eyes. But this love did not last long. Arash lost his life in a car accident. Sarah was left alone, with a broken heart and a wounded soul. It was as if the world had plunged into darkness, and ballet had lost its meaning for her. In the days of grief and sorrow, Sarah found a letter from Arash. A letter full of love and hope, in which Arash spoke of his dream of dancing with Sarah on the big stages of the world. Reading that letter, Sarah felt as if she could sense Arash's spirit by her side again. Sarah decided to continue her love for Arash. Despite all the hardships and sorrows, she kept her dance school and continued to nurture a new generation of ballerinas. In every dance, she kept the memory of Arash alive and showed him that their love would never die. Years later, Sarah, now an elderly woman, stood next to one of her young students, proudly watching her perform ballet. It was as if Arash's spirit had been breathed into that young woman, and their love continued in the next generations. Shocking ending. At that moment, Sarah lost consciousness and fell to the ground. The doctors examined her and gave her students devastating news. Sarah had passed away due to a heart condition. While everyone was in grief, a young man who looked very much like Arash entered the school. He introduced himself as Arash's brother and said he had always wanted to see Sarah. Sarah, who was on the verge of death, smiled when she saw Arash's brother and closed her eyes peacefully. It was as if her soul had joined Arash, and their romantic dance continued in another world.